Once again, Gary saves me. Okay, got it. This meeting is being live streamed. Got it. Okay. And we're here. And what we need now is right, we'll take that and move it over here. And dismiss. And what is going on? Oh no. Go back. Dismiss. Launch the meeting. Come on. Well, it's not launching. It's not working. Launch meeting now. I did. It's not launching. Come on. Launch. Just stay with me here while we get loaded up. My goodness, it's taking a bit today. And this microphone still keeps coming open. Okay, thank you for joining us. So we're having a little difficulty getting Zoom launched. We're trying to get it done, but it's not launching. Don't have Zoom Find installed. Well, I thought it was, but it did not. Okay, well, we'll just, I don't know, it's trying to, it looks like I may have it on and it's all right because I could see that it's over here in this screen, but I don't know if I need to just get out of here. And
yeah, close that window.
Close that one. And
close that one too.
Close that one. All right. Okay.
You can go ahead and close that if everything in this part of the broadcast.
Okay. Okay, that's all I need.
Yep.
I'm in again. Oh man, thank you very much, Gary.
Yep.
All right, well folks, looks like we finally got this turned on and working. So thank you for joining us here on Discoveries in Health every Thursday from 3 to 5 Pacific time. And I thank you again. I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug on that because that's not working. And now we got that mic fixed. And close that one too. Close that one. All right. Okay. And we're coming over here.
You go ahead and close that if everything in this part of the broadcast.
I have to mute this. That's part of the problem. No, that's not what I want. I've got this. I'm back here.
I'm going to pull the plug on that because that's not working.
Dismiss.
And now
this is what I'm looking for. I got it finally. I had to mute a mic and that was giving me trouble. It's all together and we're live here on Dialpad meetings, live over Zoom. and live over YouTube. So thank you for joining us here on Discoveries in Health. And let's get an opening prayer and get started. And then we're going to invite you to open your microphones and ask questions, suggest what we speak about. And we really appreciate that people come into the room and let us know what they would like to learn. That way we are actually, helping people understand what they want to learn, not something that they didn't come to learn. But that's all good. And let's get Ephesians. Let's get Ephesians. And we want EPH. Now we're getting it now. Ephesians 6. That's what we want, Ephesians 6. And we want Ephesians 6 from 10 to 18. King James Version, and we've got it. It's coming up here. And let's get that opening prayer. And what, it's a wonderful and a good opening prayer is to put on the whole body armor of God. And folks, we really need it in these days. We need to do this often, put on the whole body armor of God. And as Ephesians 6, 10 to 18 in the King James Version says, in Jesus Christ's name, we pray, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching therefore thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. In Jesus Christ's name we pray, praising and worshiping and thanking the Most High God. Praise, worship, and thank you as we receive your love, your mercy, your forgiveness, your protection, your kindness, your complete, continuous, endless, and limitless blessing. For the glory and for the victory of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ is Lord. Thank you, praise you, and worship you, Heavenly Father. We're going to take a 1 minute away from here. We'll be right back in 1 minute. Okay. All right. Now we're not competing with other things going on, and that's only fair. So let's get over here, and it was suggested today that I talk about anxiety, and depression and PTSD, and all these things that are coming against us, which are the wiles of the devil. And we need to stand against these, and we need to do something about it. We can't help God, but we can help the works of God by doing the works of God. And therefore, let's get over here and let's talk about what do we do with anxiety, depression, and all of the confusion and chaos that is going on, which is caused by evil. It's overwhelming people, and I'm getting a massive amount of influx about information about people who are stressed out. They're stressed out. Anxiety, depression. Let's take a look at the research that I did on that subject. And here it is. It's on the website herbalhealthreview.com. I'm on the website herbalhealthreview.com. By the way, the manufacturer who manufactures all the natural remedies that I invented is Health and Herbs, and I do not get anything from the sale of any product. And we're not prescribing, we're not diagnosing. We're here talking about natural remedies. That's food. Natural remedies is food. And evil people have even passed laws that the food can't be used as medicine, and medicine can't be used as food. Evil has done everything they can to make sure that they've confused any information that you're going to get about comforting yourselves with natural remedies, which is natural food. That's why we're not prescribing and diagnosing, because to prescribe and diagnose, you have to prescribe and diagnose drugs. We're not doing that. We're talking about food, natural remedies, herbs, fruits, berries, natural leaves and barks and roots. That's what we're talking about. And the medicines that God put in them. That's right. And that don't harm you, and that heal the body. They nourish the body. The body is able to heal itself, because that's what the body will do. The body, if you hurt your skin, when the new skin grows back, the body makes it grow back stronger and thicker, and it can withstand more abrasion in that spot where the new skin came in. That's what the body can do. The body is an incredible over 37 trillion cells. And we're talking about the skin. The skin, you get you're shedding skin every minute. Every minute, 40,000 skin cells come off of your body every minute. 40,000 skin cells. That's a lot of skin cells. That's 50 million cells that your body, just your skin is shedding 50 million every 24 hours. That's how miraculous the body is. And when we're talking about the brain, there are many brains in the body. Even the heart has a brain. That's right. There's a portion of the heart that is loaded with neurons. Neurons are that's what's in the brain. These neurons. And there's and you've got also a brain in the stomach of neurons. And Uh, and it's a miraculous, absolutely incredible system that is keeping everything in check. And as long as you are giving the body water and and good clean water that it can use, food that it can use, and and all this nourishment, when you're feeding the mind, body, and spirit, you're on track. If you're neglecting the spirit, but you're feeding the body and the mind, that's not going to work. If you're working, if you're feeding the spirit and the mind, and you're feeding your body, but you're not feeding it the right things, well, the spirit's going to work just fine, but the body's not going to work so well because it needs real nutrition. And the more dense nutrition, the better the nutrition, then all these little cells can communicate with each other. All 37 trillion of them can do their job. But they can't do their job if we are stressed out and we don't know what to do about it. If we have anxiety, depression, PTSD, that's it. You're done for. You can't operate because it'll shut you down. Because depression, we're up here on the website, Herbal Health Review, and on the website, herbalhealthreview.com, we're looking at the common condition report, anxiety and depression. And it starts out describing what that depression can be mild to severe. It can be ranging from sleeping more to suicidal thoughts, causing, well, the causes, I'm going to say that again. It can be mild, can be severe. It can range from just not sleeping very well to having suicidal thoughts. And the causes include chronic stress, nutritional deficiencies, sugar, processed junk foods, allergens, illness, thyroid imbalance, lack of sunlight, and certain drugs. Diet is critical for the stress that we're going through, for the depression that's heaped upon us. Diet is critical. High intake of sugar and fat causes fatigue and sluggishness and a sluggish circulation. A balance of complex carbohydrates and proteins is most appropriate to maintain alertness with quiet ease. Contrary to the popular misconceptions about anxiety disorders today, anxiety disorder is not a purely biochemical or medical disorder. Currently, there are three main schools of thought regarding the etiology of anxiety disorders. The biological theory includes the genetic predisposition in panic disorder and presupposes a chemical imbalance in the brain. That's the biological theory. It's a chemical imbalance in the brain. The psychodynamic theory looks at childhood issues as being the cause. And the behavioral theory, the third theory, behavioral theory, sees the cause as learned behavior, including our negative thought patterns. according to Fox Barker, 1997. Anxiety disorders include the following specific disorders: anxiety disorder with or without agoraphobia, agoraphobia without history of panic disorder, specific phobia, social phobia, obsessive compulsive disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, acute stress disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, anxiety disorder due to a general medical condition, substance-induced anxiety disorder, and anxiety disorder not otherwise specified. Of this list, there are 5 major anxiety disorders, which are panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and then there's obsessive compulsive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder. In his hand is the life of every creature and the breath of all mankind. Job 12:10. Scientists, thank you for joining us. We are welcoming your questions, your comments, and your suggestion. And scientists say they've identified the physical source of depression in the brain, according to Peter Doc Rill, 19 October 2016 was when this was published. And that's what scientists say. They identified the physical source of depression in the brain. The region of the brain that serves as the physical source of feelings of depression has been identified, with new MRI data being the latest evidence to show that depression isn't just a frame of mind. Scientists have scanned the brain of more than 900 people, and the results suggest that feelings of loss and low self-esteem are tied to the functioning of the orbitofrontal cortex, a region of the brain associated with sensory integration, expectation, and decision making. And they go on to say, our finding with the combination of the big data that we collected around the world and our novel methods enables us to locate the roots of depression, which should be open. Well, that should open up new avenues for better therapeutic treatments in the near future. That was in 2016. Where are they? Anyway, better treatment in the near future for this horrible disease, says the computational psychiatrist Jiafeng Feng from the University of Warwick in the UK and Fudan University in China. To isolate the brain mechanisms involved in depression, Feng's team recruited 909 people in China to take part in an MRI brain scans. Of this group, 421 of the participants had been diagnosed with major depressive disorder, aka depression. The remaining 488 participants who didn't have depression acted as a control group. And the MRI scans showed that depression is related to the neural activity of the two different portions of the orbitofrontal cortex, OFC, the medial OFC, and the medial OFC and the lateral OFC. The medial OFC becomes active when we receive rewards, and in other words, when something good happens, the medial OFC fires up and we feel good about it. But the researchers found that the participants with depression showed weaker neural connections between the medial OFC and the brain's memory systems in the hippocampus. The hippocampus, and it's not yet clear what the implications of this are. But it could mean that people with depression have a harder time accessing and recalling happy or positive memories. In addition to displaying weaker connections of the medial OFC, depression patients in the study also showed stronger neural connections around the lateral OFC, which is involved with the processing of non-reward outcomes such as punishments, failures. These stronger connections were made with parts of the brain, including the precuneus, thought to be involved with our sense of self, and the angular gyrus, which is responsible for the memory, retrieval, and attention, all of which suggests that the heightened brain activity around the lateral OFC could mean that people with depression find it easier to relive negative experiences and harder to feel good about themselves. Meanwhile, these effects seem to be compounded by the reduced medial OFC connectivity, which makes it harder for them to process happy memories. The worst of both worlds, so to speak. When contrasting the neural activity of the depression patients who were taking medication for their condition with neural activity of depression patients not on medication, the researchers found that the functional connectivity of the lateral OFC processing non-reward outcomes like punishments was lower in those who were medicated. So medicating the patient is causing them to feel non-reward outcomes like punishments. They live it over and over and over again. This suggests that existing antidepressants do not have a positive effect in evening out these mechanisms in this part of the brain. In other words, what they've been doing doesn't work. They're still doing it, though. A better understanding of the underlying physical causes of depression could make a huge difference in how we fight the disease, because the current treatment method, trying one medication after another until something sticks, isn't working and isn't effective. So on top of being further evidence that depression and mental illness in general is not just a frame of mind. The researchers could lead to new personalized medications that specifically target the orbital frontal cortex and its two sub-regions for more effective relief. In other words, they're trying to find a chemical that works like an herb, like these herbs that are foods and not drugs, and they work. Here is a formula for depression, a formula of food herbs, not drugs, foods combined together, and they actually help to alleviate depression and strengthen the nervous system, which means they're working on the OFC. And what are the herbs that work on depression? Let's click on the link, because when you're reading these reports that I've created in Herbal Health Review on that website under common conditions, and you're looking at anxiety, depression reports under common conditions, you're able to, and it says depression formula 1144. That's a formulation of food that comforts people. And let's look at what herbs do that. What herbs actually work that the drug dealers can't figure out what to do. They can't find a drug that works like an herb. But they keep trying. That's why they keep trying to outlaw herbs. And then they go and they try to mimic an herb and make a drug out of it and tell you that it's better. Well, it's not. They can't improve on God's work, but they keep trying. Ever since the Tower of Babel, they just won't quit. Copy link. Let's open that. Let's open that link in a new tab, and let's see what herbs that we're talking about. So we're looking at an herbal formula that has been successfully working, and it's called mood care. Mood care. That's it. And mood care consists, then the first herb is St. John's wort. St. John's wort has a history and tradition of many, many years of being for depression. Same thing with borage leaf. And passion flower helps to cool down the nervous system, but doesn't make you sleepy. That's important. If you need to cool down the nervous system during the day so you can think and work and do your job and drive and so forth, then you don't want a sedative, that is really going to, make you sleepy or tired. No, you want an herb like passion flower that feeds the nervous system, but doesn't make you sleepy. It's the only one that does that. Passion flower. And that's in there. So we have St. John's wort, we have borage leaf, we have passion flower. Oh, then we have herbs that wake up the brain. Gotu kola. Okay, now that's working. That's working at with the lateral, the OF lateral. Yeah, and because the gotu kola is clearing the mind. Then there's ginkgo biloba, ginkgo leaf, and that is in this formula, and that herbal food is causing circulation, especially to the brain, to the head. So now it's feeding some circulation there, and so things can go back to work. And it's got all the foods, the nourishments that feed the brain and wake it up and make it happy and cool it down and feed the nervous system, and the gotu kola brightening up making the mental picture brighter, because it just gotu kola clears the mind. Ginkgo increases the circulation. And finally, we have the general. And I call him the general, that's my name for him. lobelia leaf, because lobelia leaf is a sedative, and it won't make you sleepy, but it's a sedative, but it leads all the other herbs to do what those herbs are supposed to be doing. That's what I said. And my, come on, I'm trying to get this to work. It's not working. Come on. There we go. Had to mute that microphone so that there's no echoes, but there it is. And then it's got a little bit of cayenne in there, which is see the lobelia takes every herb and it leads it to where it's supposed to go, holds it there, makes sure it's doing its job. And that's why I call it the general. That's a very unusual thing for a food to be able to do to another food, but lobelia does that. And it's a sedative. So it's cooling things down and leading all the other herbs to do a job. And the final herb in there is a teeny tiny amount of cayenne root, because the cayenne is a stimulant, and it opens up every cell, lets all the other herbs in there to go do their job. And then it quietly it's not too stimulating. It's just enough of a stimulant to open up the cell and let everything in. And the lobelia makes sure he's the supervisor, making sure everything's in order and everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. And that's an herbal formulation. And that's an herbal formulation for depression. So let's get back to depression and anxiety. But that you could click on the herb. Then you're looking at the herb. And I don't get anything from the sale of any product. That makes evil people happy. It don't make me so happy. But that's what I had to do to defeat the federal government. As long as they felt that I wasn't making any money doing this, everything was okay. I still wasn't supposed to have this website, and I don't. See, I don't own this website. I just maintain it. And that was the other thing. They said he can't have a website like that because no one else in America can have a website like that, because it's against our rules. It's against their evil rules for you to have this information. So, but here it is, and you do. So, we're still here, and we're not going away. And I've been doing this for 62 years. And you beat me down, and you beat me down, and you beat me up, and you destroyed me, and I've come back over and over again. So FDA. Anyway, because they do a terrible job. Anyway, that's the depression formula. Anti-anxiety formula. Anti-anxiety formula. A lot of people have anxiety. I mean, trying to help people without any resources, that'll give you anxiety. Yeah, I've had anxiety and I've had depression doing this work, because I'm constantly under attack. There's no money in it. I'm always broke. Don't have enough money to. I would really like to get my own house one of these days. I had one once, but we had it for 20. I had a house for 20 years, and then I lost it all. But helping people, but I won't quit. And anti-anxiety. Let's see what kind of herbs get rid of anxiety. We know what kind of herbs will work for depression. Let's take a look at the anxiety, because that's another terrible thing, because you get depressed, you get anxious, nothing's right, nothing seems right, nothing looks right, nothing feels right. That's anxiety and depression. Okay, so let's click to see what number 1027, why this anti-anxiety formula will help upon the next onset of anxiety, or during any times of high stress you would use daily to reduce the occurrence of anxiety attacks. Let's see what herbs do that. Click on that anti-anxiety formula, of herbs, foods. Herbs are foods. The FDA doesn't know that. They think anything that challenges them is a drug. It's bad. They call food drugs. No wonder there's a problem with the food supply. The FDA is totally confused. Anyway, the anxiety formula will help upon the onset of anxiety or during times of high stress. And you want to use it daily to reduce the occurrence of anxiety. Well, let's take a look and see what herbal food will help to the body and feed the body. Let's see what it'll, we'll open it in a new tab here. Here we go. And so the name on this formulation used to be anxiety, but it's anti-anxiety formula. That was its original name. But the government says, oh, you can't say that. See, there's no freedom of speech. There's no freedom of labeling something truthfully. You gotta, they gotta, they're telling you that there's no such thing as a food that can help anxiety. Well, they're wrong. They're wrong, and they're wrong. Because the skullcap leaf is an herb for the nervous system that cools down the nervous system. And then there's the passion flower that's also in the depression formula that calms the nervous system but doesn't make you sleepy. The skullcap's going to make you a little bit sleepy because it's going to calm down the depression, and you're going to relax, and you're going to be tired from all the depression that you've been experiencing, and you're going to want to rest. You're going to want to rest. So that's why we're using herbs that will do that. Skullcap will cool down the nervous system and take away the anxiety. Valerian root is the most used herb for anxiety and nervousness in the entire world. In the entire world, valerian root, and especially in Europe, they're using valerian root because it will get rid of anxiety and shut you down. It'll make you tired. It'll make you sleepy. And so the anxiety will go away, and you want to rest. Also, mistletoe leaf will also be what is called a nervine. It helps the nervous system. And hops flower will make you sleepy. Sarsaparilla root will help to relieve anxiety from past issues that happened that you buried and you can't even remember, and if you could remember them, you want to forget them again because it was awful, and that's why you're anxious and have anxiety. Sarsaparilla helps to helps to take that away. It helps to remove that. It's a food that satisfies those cells in your body and those neurons and those parts of the brain that are hanging on to anxiety. And but sarsaparilla root makes them go away. Makes you able to let it go. Kava root, it will numb you out. It numbs you out and calms you down. Catnip leaf, that will settle down the stomach. That's going to relax. The catnip leaf will relax the stomach. Cramp bark, well, that says it gets rid of cramps. Ginger root, that is going to help the digestion. Red clover blossoms is one of those herbs that just helps everything. let's go take a look at red clover blossoms, because you'd be amazed at all the things that one herb can do. And that's red clover blossom. This is balancing the hormones. It's doing all kinds of incredible things. Let's go back and let's take a look. Go over here and go back to Herbal Health Review, because this is a good time for us to take a look at one of the greatest herbs you'll ever find, and that's red clover blossoms, which is good, which is also a good herb to strengthen the body against cancers. That's right. That's one of the things that we'll do. Let's visit it. And if we're at H, Herbal Health Review, going to Herbal Health Review, clicking on common conditions, and clicking on common conditions again. And now coming down into common conditions and looking at a report that really details a lot of herbs that are incredible. And doggy, you're not supposed to be barking at me when I'm trying to do the broadcast. Okay. You can't do that. There you go. Now, we are looking at breast and all cancer report. The breast and all cancer report is loaded with detailed information on a lot of different things, and let's get down here into the cancer report, breast and all cancer, and here's what to do. And we get down and we go deep down into this report, and it gives you the diet system, gives you a way to oxygenate every cell in your body with hydrogen peroxide, 35% food grade. It gives you all these incredible herbs that strengthen the body to fight off cancer. That's right. And it tells you how to clean the toxins out of it, get rid of the heavy metals, balance the glandular system, get rid of the carbohydrates. And it even gives you herbs to replace those carbohydrates, because some people, they want their sweetness. They've got to have that sweetness. Well, let's get it from herbs that are actually going to help you instead of mess up your metabolism and cause diabetes and so forth. So that would, and I'm looking for foods with no carbs, and I'm looking for where I said that. I'm looking for it. Hold on. Fiber, carbs, whatever. Well, it still isn't there. And I'm waiting for it. There's the sugar substitutes. And the sugar, we're going to do red clover in a minute, but sugar substitutes: stevia leaf, green powder, stevia, or stevia leaf, a green liquid, and there's xylitol. These are safe sweeteners, and don't use anything else but those. Those are the sweet, they give you the sweetness without all the guilt of all that sugar that is causing havoc in your body. But we're on our way below all the information about sugar. That's a lot of information. Then you learn all about B12 and folic acid drops, which is another incredible thing that everybody should have in their diet. B12 and folic acid drops, that wakes up the brain. But here's the red clover blossoms number 3737, and you take 30 to 60 drops 3 times a day, because red clover is considered to be one of the richest sources of isoflavones, which are water-soluble chemicals that act like estrogens. So they're balancing out the hormones in the body, these red clover blossoms. These isoflavones, which are water-soluble chemicals that act like estrogens, are known as phytoestrogens. That means plant estrogens. So they're plant estrogens, and they take the place of the harmful progesterone, excuse me, of the estrogens that are harmful to the body. They're too strong, and they actually can cause hot flashes, PMS, and so forth. All of these things are corrected with red clover blossom, and also it's used as a breast enhancement and breast health, as well as lowering cholesterol, improving urine production, and improving circulation of the blood to prevent osteoporosis brought on mainly by milk and dairy products. And you want to reduce, it will reduce this, it's good. The red clover blossoms will reduce the possibility of blood clots. So it's going to help in clotting. And for people who have clotting problems and arterial plaques, and it's it's limiting the development of benign prostate hyperplasia. In other words, prostate problems. Red clover blossoms does all of those kinds of things. Red clover is also a source of many valuable nutrients, including calcium, chromium, magnesium, niacin, phosphorus, potassium, thiamine, and vitamin C. And several studies of a proprietary extract of red clover isoflavones suggest that it may significantly reduce hot flashes in menopausal women. Also, menopause increases a woman's risk for developing osteoporosis, significant bone loss. And some studies suggest that a proprietary extract of red clover isoflavones may slow bone loss and even boost bone mineral density in pre and perimenopausal women. That's huge. The estrogen-like effect of red clover isoflavones may be involved, and red clover may also have a direct effect on preventing the breakdown of existing bone. So osteoporosis, look out, here comes red clover blossoms. And clogged arteries, and increasing the mineral density, so forth. This is incredible. It's a wonderful herb. However, this possible bone strengthening effect has not been seen in men and post-menopausal women. It's not working so well on men. They can't see it, and they can't see it in post-menopausal women. It's after you've had menopause, it's not working that well for estrogen balancing and so forth. Because red clover blossoms contains chemicals called isoflavones, which belong to a larger class of plant chemicals known as phyto, which again is plant-derived estrogens, which are softer and replace the harsh ones that are harming women. Their own estrogens are too strong, and it's causing all kinds of problems. And when you use the red clover blossoms, it takes the place of the harmful estrogens that women are creating, and it replaces them, and you have a softer source of estrogens. Red clover is often taken to relieve symptoms of premenstrual syndrome, PMS. So it helps with PMS. Isoflavones are similar in the shape, well, the isoflavones, they're similar in the same shape of the female hormone. It looks like, in other words, the plant phytoestrogen resembles the female hormone, estrogen. That's what it looks like under a microscope. Therefore, they may attach to the estrogen receptors throughout the body, particularly in the bladder, the blood vessels, the bones, and the heart. That's and helping women. Red clover blossoms. For women with normal estrogen levels, red clover isoflavones may displace some natural estrogens, possibly preventing or relieving estrogen-related symptoms, breast pain, that are associated with PMS. This effect may also reduce the possibility of developing estrogen-dependent cancer of the endometrium. I'm going to say it again. Isoflavones displacing natural estrogens is also causing an effect that may reduce the possibility of developing estrogen-dependent cancer of the endometrium, the lining of the uterus. In addition, results from a review of nearly 1,000 women suggest that red clover may interfere with an enzyme known to promote the progression of endometrial cancer. Red clover may also block enzymes thought to contribute to prostate cancer in men. It has been shown it has shown a definite limiting effect. However, in the development of benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, and I need a drink of water. Red clover may also block enzymes thought to contribute to prostate cancer in men. It has shown a definite limiting effect. However, in the development of benign prostate hyperplasia, BPH, which is a non-cancerous enlargement of the prostate gland, an enlarged prostate may cause men to experience a weak, interrupted urine stream, dribbling after urinating, or the urge to urinate even after voiding. For most men, BPH is a normal part of aging. Did you hear what science thinks is okay? They think it's just a normal part of aging. No, it's not a normal part of aging. It's something that's happening that they don't understand. And so that's normal. No, it's not normal. Something to understand and don't know how to treat. So that's normal. It's not right. Anyway, it's believed that the red clover may help to prevent heart disease in several ways. Although results from human studies are not definite, some show that taking red clover may lower levels of bad low density lipoprotein cholesterol, LDL, and raise the levels of the high density lipoprotein, HDL, cholesterol in the body. In addition, red clover may also promote an increase in the secretion of bile, the bile acid, because cholesterol is a major component of bile acid. Increased bile acid production usually means that more cholesterol is used and less cholesterol circulates in the body. Additionally, red clover contains small amounts of chemicals known as coumarins, 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 and coumarins, which may help keep the blood from becoming thick and gummy, or the possibility of forming blood clots and arterial plaques reduced are accumulations of blood cells, fats, and other substances that may build up in blood vessels, reducing or blocking blood flow. Red clover may also help the arteries remain strong and flexible, a quality often called arterial compliance, which may also to prevent some of the plaque deposits that may lead to a heart attack or stroke. So, and it's also been helpful in quitting smoking. So much for red clover blossoms, one of the herbs in mood care. Well, no, not one of them in mood care. It was one of the herbs that we were talking about in anxiety and depression. It was in the calm formula. And we were talking about herbs like skullcap leaf, passion flower, valerian root, mistletoe leaf, hops flower, sarsaparilla root, kava root. We talked about catnip leaf and cramp bark and ginger root. And then we came to red clover blossoms that's in this herbal formulation called calm, that calms people down. And there's a little bit of cayenne in there, and a little bit of lobelia, and there's St. John's wort in there, and borage leaf, and gotu kola, and wild lettuce, and mother root for the heart, and American ginseng root as well. What a formulation! And it helps to calm the nervous system. And that works, and it really, really works well. A lot of people love that formulation. Let's get back over to anxiety and depression, because we talked about herbs for depression. We talked about herbs, and we described herbs for anxiety. So there's lots of things that we can do. We can increase the 5-HTP, a blend of B6, niacin, and 5-hydroxytryptophan. It provides vital nutrients for the brain and body, and it allows protection from illness and promotes the production of serotonin. Wow. So there are lots of things that we can do. Make sure taking lots of B complex when there's a problem with depression and anxiety, because B complex is for the nervous system. And you want B12 and folic acid drops. It wakes up the brain, and it rejuvenates every cell in the body. B12 and folic acid drops. And we talked about 5-HTP, which is a blend of B6 niacin and 5-hydroxytryptophan. But then there's also L-tryptophan. Allows the body to control serotonin levels and correct deficiencies of serotonin as needed. Although plentiful in protein foods, cooking and processing easily destroys L-tryptophan, making deficiencies fairly common for many people. Supplementing with L-tryptophan plays a vital role in improving sleep, relieving pain, mood. So these are things that we look at when there is anxiety and depression. These are foods and supplements that can help us. We already talked about ginkgo, and it increases circulation to the scalp and the brain and peripheral circulation of blood. And ginkgo leaf, almost any condition that can be helped with increased blood flow is likely to benefit from the regular use of ginkgo leaf. And kava root, we talked about that earlier in the depression formula. It relieves stress after injuries. The plant works by first stimulating the nervous system, then it depresses it. It depresses it. So it is it's very beneficial for anxiety, insomnia, and stress. Kava root. And it works, see it combined with valerian when there's anxiety. And there's GABA, G-A-B. That stands for gamma amino butyric acid. And this natural food is used for anxiety, stress, brain function, and ADD, attention deficit disorder. It is also useful in enlarged prostate because it plays in the mechanism of regulating the release of sex hormones. Finally, there is a nervous tension formula when there's anxiety and depression. If you're nervous and this constantly, then you need this herbal formula. I remember 30 years ago when I was in Portland, Oregon, in a health food store there, and the lady had a lot of children. I don't know, about 7 or 8 kids. And she had one little girl that just could not calm down. I mean, she was just always hyper. So she said, what can I try? I said, well, let's nervous tension formula, number 1324. I think the little girl was about 2 or 3 years old. And she gave some of this compound, which is a nervine sedative. And it's an antispasmodic and a tonic. And it helps to soothe the nervous system. It also relieves stress, tension, and anxiety. And it can be used for any nervous condition. And we've got open mics. People come in and the mic is open and it's echoing. And there it is. We've closed the mic. Thank you for joining us. We are discussing the nervous system. And mic is open again. I keep closing it there. In Louisiana, let's try to keep the mic closed. Unless you have a question, a topic, or a suggestion, then please open your microphone. Yes, we're finishing here with this nervous tension formula, number 1324. If you have any nervous tension, you're going to want to try this formula. The little girl, when she gave it to her little girl, the little girl calmed down. And then pretty soon, whenever the little girl was feeling like she was losing control of her nervous system and she just felt anxious and everything, well, she would go to her mom, and mom wouldn't have to go to her. She would go to her mom and she would pull on her dress, say, hey, give me some more of that nervous tension formula. Mom would give her a squirt. She'd go off and play and be in control of her nervous system. She was a happy little girl. It calmed her right down. She was in control of her nervous system. Can you imagine how awful it is if you're 2 or 3 years old and you're anxious and nervous and you're just all over the place and you can't calm down? It's really nice to know that there's something that can help. Nervous tension really works. Finally, there's St. John's wort all by itself because it is a specific. St. John's wort number 3845 is a specific for the nervous system. And you're going to find in that nervous tension formula I'm sure there's going to be some St. John's wort. But anyway, the reason why it's a St. John's wort is a specific for the nervous system. It benefits neuralgia pains, neuralgia and pains and nerve injuries. It calms the nervous system to treat insomnia, and it even helps in bedwetting for kids and adults as well. And the hypericins in St. John's wort help to alleviate anxiety and depression. That's it. Folks, we just absolutely had to talk about anxiety and depression because so many people are overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed with what's going on. And that's exactly what evil wants. Evil wants to stress everybody out and make everybody unhappy and make them eat more foods that they're, try to eat comfort foods to make themselves happy. And now all that does is make them sick. And but they're happy for the moment they're doing it and then sick afterwards that they did it. So it's nice to know that there are things, that there are herbs, natural remedies, foods that can help people. And that's what this is all about. We're not talking about drugs. We're not talking about we're curing this or curing that. What we're talking about is comforting people with good old-fashioned, time-proven herbs, natural remedies that have been used since the beginning of time. Man has always gone to his foods to try to find the right foods to make them nourish him, make them feel better. That's it. That's what herbs do. So now that we got that, unless we have an open mic, and I'm looking for somebody, anyone, if you have anything that we should talk about, we got time to talk about it here today. So if you have a question, a topic, or a suggestion, let's hear about it. Okay, let's hear about that suggestion, topic, or suggestion. And I don't see anybody opening up any microphones. So in that case, let's go find something here that let's take a look. I get a lot of people who have high blood pressure. Let's talk about what some of the newer information is coming out scientifically from credible sources like the Alliance for Natural Health. And here's an article that was written on December 2, 2021. And they're talking about the common medications that increase blood pressure. Well, let's see what are those? Well, oral contraceptives will increase blood pressure by as much as 8 mmHg systolic and 6 mmHg diastolic. It increases it. Okay, oral contraceptives do increase blood pressure. They got a little video here. Let's see what they're doing. Okay, it's going to last 1 minute and 19 seconds. Common medications. Okay, let's stop on here. Let's take a look. Half of adults routinely take drugs linked with increasing blood pressure in 20% of those suffering from hypertension. Wow, let's go here. NSAIDs lead to an average increase in blood pressure of 3/2 mm/Hg. There you go. And steroidal medicines cause water and salt retention, increasing blood pressure. So, folks, that's why if you're taking blood pressure medication and you're doing these other things, you're fighting yourself. One thing, you're taking the high blood pressure medication. The other thing is, if you're taking any of these other things, it's increasing it, so it's not working. That's why it's not working, because people constantly tell me, why is my high blood pressure medication not working? That's why steroidal medicines cause water and salt retention, increasing blood pressure. Okay. And we already said oral contraceptives increase blood pressure. We already said that. So that's it. Those are some things that we need to know about. Let's see if we're going to go on to any further. One of these things that people aren't doing, that can't control their high blood pressure, they're not exercising regularly. They need more fresh fruits and vegetables and less processed foods. They need to lose weight if you are above a healthy range. And there's got to be no smoking or nicotine products. Can't have any of those. Increases the high blood pressure. So that's why people aren't getting rid of that high blood pressure. They're not exercising. They're not eating fresh fruits and vegetables. They're not losing that weight that they need to, and they're smoking. And some of them are, not everybody. And you have the power to regenerate. Whoops, we have the power to regenerate our health. And let me see if I could go back. It doesn't let me go back, or does it? Oh, there it is. It's going to let me go back. Oh, just to there. Okay. You have the power to regenerate health naturally. See your doctor to address concerns related in hypertension. There it is. That's a little bit about high blood pressure. Okay. And since that's such a hot topic, let's go over to herbalhealthreview.com, and let's click on common conditions, and let's take a look at what people can do about high blood pressure besides the things that we just mentioned. Okay, so we go down here and we're looking for high blood pressure. We're on the website herbalhealthreview.com. And by the way, I did not give you my telephone number. I want you to call me. I want to make sure you get a member intake form, and I want to make sure you join this website, herbalhealthreview.com. You can join for a lifetime membership and have me be your coach for the rest of your life, coaching you with suggestions about natural remedies. And you can do that. You can donate. You can go over to the home page, and you can see all the different ways that you can join and fill out that member intake form. And you get all these broadcasts, and you get a complete health plan. And for people in a hurry, people who have some health issues that they want to deal with right away, well, that's in 48 hours, I can create you a health plan. What I ask for is a donation of $399 to be a lifetime member of this system. But if you don't want it in a hurry, you don't need it in 48 hours, a lifetime membership is $195 one time. And then I'm helping you understand natural remedies. You can text me, you can email me. You've got all these ways to contact me. So that's one way you can do that for $195 for a lifetime membership. But if you don't, maybe you just want to try it. How about $20 a month? And in 12 months, you get a free lifetime membership. So $20 a month to try it to see if you like it. If you like it, you can either make, make $20 monthly donations, or at any time you can just decide pay $195, a donation of $195. This is a membership, and you get a lifetime membership. So that's all the ways to join and support me, because I'm paying for this broadcast. And and for all the research that I do. That's what it pays for me to continue to make sure you're getting the latest information on high blood pressure, which I just gave you. And you got it for free on this broadcast. And if you're a member, you can always contact me and have me do research for you, help you with understand anything you want. That's what I do. And I do it every day. Okay. I do that every day. And now I'm on common conditions, and I'm looking for high blood pressure, because we need to take a look at what are the remedies that can help people and comfort people who have high blood pressure. Okay, so we're over here at herbalhealthreview.com. We're on the common condition reports. We've gone down to hypertension, high blood pressure, and it gives a summary describing what high blood pressure is. And what it is a popular issue among a lot of Americans across the country. The fast lifestyle, fast food, soda, and stress, and drugs and smoking, and all these other things that are going, and a lot of chaos and evil stuff going on. There's your high blood pressure right there. And it's starting to catch up with the average American. So much so that an estimated 1 in every 3 Americans has high blood pressure. That's disgusting. About evil and chaos and depression and anxiety. Yeah. And then not having a perfect diet, and not knowing which herbs and which supplements and which foods you should be using and which ones you should be avoiding, etc. And people are suffering to death with high blood pressure. This puts them at risk, because high blood pressure, you don't stop there. It goes on. High blood pressure leads you into a risk of heart disease, stroke, even kidney disease, and even more, high blood pressure. This condition is costing the U.S. $93.5 billion in healthcare services. $93.5 billion in healthcare services, and they don't understand how to use natural remedies, is why. So first, let's change our diet. And let's introduce proven and tried herbal tinctures and supplements to help you get back to the healthy you without breaking your pocketbook, and helping you to live a quality life, because there's no way to live. It's miserable, and it's leading you into death with heart disease, stroke, and kidney disease. And on the diet, many food, we already discussed a lot of things there. Many foods and dietary factors affect blood pressure. High sodium diet, a lot of salt, increases blood pressure. And the thing about it is, the older you get, the less you can taste salt. And if you go into a restaurant, or somebody who is very old, and if they're salting the food for you, they're going to be a lot of salt on it, because it takes a lot of salt for them to be able to taste it, because they lose their taste for salt. But a lot of salt, which then gives you high blood pressure. It's helping to cause it. High sodium diet increases blood pressure in some people, and in some people it doesn't. The less sodium you eat, the better blood pressure control you might have, even if you're taking blood pressure medication. So let's look at ailments, sickness, and disease are most commonly caused by and or exacerbated by our lifestyle choices. Ingesting plenty of clean water with minerals, like spring water, and having having a organic, nutrient dense diet of foods and supplements. Well, getting plenty of rest, exercising regularly, avoiding things like processed foods and drugs and alcohol, and and excessive device time. We're watching a lot of TV, a lot of sitting, being sediment, a lot of people just sitting a lot. All of this can dramatically increase. A lot of these, the bad things can decrease your lifestyle, and all these good things, if you're going to get the rest and get exercising and try to stay away from processed foods and drugs and alcohol, these things, and stop watching so much TV, that can dramatically increase our quality of life and our overall lifespan. So let's take a look here. What can we do about high blood pressure? Natural health experts have known for decades how powerful one particular vitamin is for battling high blood pressure. And this vitamin, you want to know what the vitamin it is, and they've known it for decades, and you want to know the same one that they know, that it's how powerful it is battling high blood pressure and a host of other problems as well. The big pharmaceutical companies have, however, used endless resources, and they have them because they got all the money, because they're drug dealers, and they got a lot of money. Drug business is big business, and they have used endless resources and influence to bury any study that showed positive effects from this essential vitamin that we're going to tell you about now. Research recently published on the online science journal PLOS1, and it revealed, however, conclusive proof that high blood pressure is caused and cured. That's what it says. I didn't say that. What this research says, because I don't say that. I can't say that. I'll get beat up every time I would even think that. Anyway, by this one vitamin, that's what online science journal said, research on mice recently looked at the connection between high blood pressure and vitamin D, like David. In the two-part study, 4 groups of mice were given specific diets. One part of the study, mice were given vitamin D, and they were vitamin D deficient and vitamin D sufficient diets. In the second part of the study, they were further divided between high fat and low fat diet. This resulted in 4 groups: vitamin D deficient, high fat, vitamin D deficient, low fat, and vitamin D sufficient high fat, and vitamin D sufficient low fat. Conclusion: mice that were given vitamin D, the vitamin D deficient groups, both high and low fat, and the vitamin D, developed high blood pressure. They were deficient. If they were deficient in vitamin D, whether they had a high fat, low fat diet, didn't matter. They developed high blood pressure. The mice who were not vitamin D sufficient did not become hypertensive. They were not vitamin D sufficient. They didn't have enough vitamin D, but they did not become hypertensive when given vitamin D. It didn't matter. If they received high fat or low fat, they got the vitamin D, their blood pressure, they did not have high blood pressure. What's more, when the hypertensive mice from the deficient group, when received sufficient levels of vitamin D, their blood pressure stabilized. As soon as they got the vitamin D, boom, they're okay too. And they no longer showed signs of high blood pressure. Before the study, all researchers had to go on were correlative studies that had been criticized by pharmaceutical groups as not having irrefutable proof. This study ends the debate. That's it. They proved vitamin D will help with high blood pressure. And eating plenty of organic fruits, veggies, and nuts and seeds, and do not eat GMO. And if you can, let's soak those nuts and get that phytic acid off there, because that's the only reason you don't want to eat a lot of nuts. You don't want to eat a lot of nuts, especially nuts that are salted and roasted. You want raw nuts and seeds, and you want to soak the nuts and soak all the phytic acid out of them. Then you got a food that you are getting a powerhouse of nutrients from, and none of the phytic acid, which is causing health disorders. Grains you want to remove the grains from the diet. If you have high blood pressure, they're too acidic. Grains are too acidic. People with high blood pressure usually love their grains and their cereals. We need to eat lots of vegetables and raw leafy greens in our diet. We need to have lots of fruits, and we need a low fat diet, no dairy. Dairy causes osteoporosis. I know the dairy people aren't going to like me for this, and I'm sorry. Nice people, bad industry. Dairy causes osteoporosis, and science knows it. But yet people love their dairy. Best is no dairy. You want to have organic and no red meat. Red meat will increase high blood pressure. You want organic, range-free uh, uh, if you're going to eat beef, you really got to eat organic range-free beef if you insist on having beef. And you need no antibiotics poultry. You're going to have eat chicken and poultry, but no antibiotics. You don't need them. And you want wild caught fish, not farmed. Unfortunately, farmed fish they're not raised properly in most cases. They feed the fish garbage because it's cheaper to feed them than feeding them what they need. And that's what's wrong with farmed fish. But if they're feeding them correctly, farmed fish could be all right. But we can't trust it because too many of the farmed fish are fed garbage. And thank you for joining us there in Georgia. Do you have a question or a topic or a suggestion today over there in Georgia? If you don't, that's okay. But if you do, let me know. Hi, how you doing? Okay, thank you. We're talking about high blood pressure, and you can get a copy of this video. It'll be on YouTube, and you can always call me. My telephone number is 503-362-5899. I'll say that again. Maybe you didn't have a pen ready. So I'm going to give you my telephone number again. It's 503-362-5899. Please call me and let me know how I can help. Please go on that website, herbalhealthreview.com, and go up there on the side panel of almost every report. All these different reports. What happened there, I don't know, but that's fun. Let's go back over here and back over there again. I don't know how I did that, but I did. Somehow I raised it up. High blood pressure. And there we go. And we're talking about high blood pressure. And if you'd like a copy of these reports or any report, be sure, and like I say, go up on the website, herbalhealthreview.com. And I don't know if I can get up here. It's not working. So I'm going to get out of here and go back in again because it got corrupted, my report. And I'm over here on herbalhealthreview.com. herbalhealthreview.com. And I was looking at high blood pressure, and all of a sudden I've got this report now that I can't even read. I don't know what happened to it, but there it is. This may be what I'm looking for. I'm going to go over here and find what I'm looking for. I'm trying to get back to my report, and I'm not having much luck. I'm going to go back over here and click on, try to get back in here again. And let's just go here and go to H over here. Recently closed. No, I don't want any of that. I want this H, and it's going to help. It's going to outthink me. Okay. It keeps bringing me back to this Herbal Health Review. And no, I don't want that. I don't know how I got there. All right, let's go over here and go back to the high blood pressure report. All of a sudden it's corrupted. My high blood pressure report is corrupted, and I can't even finish reading the report. I'm trying to get into Herbal Health Review. And let's see if I can get back there. Okay, Herbal. No, it's not even going to let me go there. Let's go here. Herbal, Herbal. That is really something. Okay. This is really, I'm having experienced some interesting things happening here. while I'm trying to read this report. I guess when you take the FDA on and you take the pharmaceutical industry on, funny thing happens to your website. Funny thing happens to the website. Let's go to H. Get out of here. I do not want this, and it keeps giving me this history report. Clear the history browsing. That'll help. Okay, now maybe it'll let me do this. Nope, it's clearing the history. And going H. Nope, it clears it and brings it, doesn't clear it. This is very interesting. It is not going to let me go there. That is interesting. Whoa. This is kind of interesting what's happening here. I am having a wow. Okay, there we go. The browsing history, clear the data. That'll help. So maybe we can get back over here and get back into our report. It would be so nice. No. All right. Well, somehow or another, my computer has become corrupted, and I can't finish this broadcast on the research reports. So I'm going to go ahead and change gears. I'm going over here, and I'm going to minimize that, and I'm going to go back over to here, and we're going to be able to do what we want to do. Oh my goodness. Stay with me, folks. I'm reaching for a report here. And I changed websites. Herbal. And it's not going to even let me do that, are you? Herbal. Nope. All right. Let's do this. Herbal. No. H. Nope. Wow. Okay. It's not letting me get up on either website. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude the broadcast. I want to thank you for joining us. If anyone would like to contact me, you can contact me by email, either Truman at Herbal Health Review or Doc Truman at Herbal Health Review is my email. And if you have want me to do any research reports for you or answer any questions about natural remedies, I'm glad to do that. I don't prescribe, I don't diagnose, but I do give you accurate information and research reports. And you can become a member of the Herbal Health Review website. All you have to do is $20 monthly or $195 for a lifetime membership, or $399 one time if you want something, if you want a complete health plan done within 48 hours. I will do that. I will work night and day for you to make sure you get that. That being said, and the fact that I cannot get up on on the website, it will not do it. Well, wait a minute. I can't close all the windows, but I can try closing some of them down here, and maybe we could actually get in here again. Let's see if that will work. Now it's not wanting to do that, and it's not giving me the report that I want, but I sure wish it would. It's as you can see, when you're looking on the YouTube, let's see if it'll bring it in here. I'm still trying. Common conditions. I might be able to do this. It's very slowly populating and loading. It's loaded 3 times. I guess one of them will. Okay, so now we're hey, I think I've got it cleared. But what I was trying to say is that the reports are on the side panel, and now again it's gotten large again. But on the side panel, you're going to see that you can and even that's not working. The side panel is not working. Okay. All right. I'm gonna conclude the broadcast because the computer is not working. And I want to thank you for joining us here on Discoveries in Health. Please tell your friends and ask them to call and ask them to ask their questions. And we will do on the fly research, anything that they want to talk about. We will research it and talk about it here on Discoveries in Health. This is Doc Truman, the herbalist. My telephone number, 503-362-5899. My email address, doctruman@herbalhealthreview.com or just truman@herbalhealthreview.com and email me. And that being said, folks, let's get back here and let's see if we can let's get back to Ephesians 6:10-18 EPH. It's not going to let me even do that, is it? No, it's not allowing me to get to anything. Loading a Prevera. I'll have to have my man Gary there. He's going to take care of me tomorrow and get this computer going again because it is not working. It just quit and doesn't want to work anymore. And herbal, HER. Anyway, that's it. I want to thank you. I can't even get my Ephesians 6 up here. So all praises to the Most High God in the name of Jesus Christ, our Savior. Praise, worship, and thank you, our Heavenly Father. Thank you in Jesus Christ's name as we receive your complete, continuous, endless, limitless blessing for the glory and for the victory of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In Jesus Christ's name, all praises to the Most High God in Jesus Christ's name. So be it. Amen. And we're coming over to dial pad meetings, and let's all praise the Most High together. And that's not working either. Okay. Wow. Oh my goodness. And hard to believe that it is the way that it is. I'm trying to get over to the dial pad meetings, and I will undo all the microphones. And all praises to the Most High, brothers and sisters. All praises to the Most High. Bless you and bless your families.
All praises to the Most High. Thank you, Dr. Truman.
Thank you for listening. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. In Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
Amen.